What does success actually mean to you?
Success in a nutshell is winning the inner battle. And people might say money is success, power is success, fame is success, but those are the lower forms of success.
How do I connect with the essence of my soul?
We are one with God, but we have forgotten it. Our soul doesn't remember it because we have been layered up. There are so many layers. What is the reason that X is differently abled and Y is a fully fit guy who's winning the 100 meters in the Olympics? So there is some reason why. And that is probably the only explanation is that there is a past life, there are past lives, and there was something we did to earn this particular life. But there are three ways to progress in this life. That's what spirituality says. At an early age, if you start a little bit of meditation in that khilono wali age hai, instead of wasting 60 years, 70 years and then thinking of God, then life becomes easier.
So especially for those people who are going through a tough time, how and what would you advise them to make spirituality a part of their lives so that it gets a little easier?
Who is most successful today? That individual who has conquered his fears and the distractions and the restlessness. The topper of any exam or of the sports field or of the music field or of the podcast field, that topper is somebody who has overcome his or her worries.
And what about those who are not able to win those inner battles, who just give up? What is the perfect recipe for a meaningful life?
I don't have to crave for something beyond a point.
Hello everybody, a very warm welcome on the show, and I'm your host Rangoli Sharma. In today's special discussion, a very special guest has joined me today. He's a former IS officer, renowned author and motivational coach. And with him, I've explored so many important questions of life, and especially for youth, for people who are in the middle of their career and they're very confused how to navigate. This is the podcast for you. You should definitely watch it, and especially if you're preparing for civil services. I'm sure you would like to hear it from somebody who's himself done it and now guiding people. I'm sure you must have seen people who so early and so easily achieve success in life. Who are these souls? What is their secret code that they're not telling you to attract everything that you want? It's more like a clear path is laid out for them and they are just walking on it. How can you make that path clearer for you? And our guest also happens to be a big follower of YSS, Swami Paramhans Yoganand. And he says that spirituality has played a very important role in making him who he is today. So I'm sure if you are also navigating paths for your career, if you're confused about your soul purpose, if you want to attract everything that you want to desire in your life, this is the podcast for you. And especially every young person should definitely watch this podcast. I would suggest all of you to share it with young people. And let's hear it from somebody who's achieved a lot of professional success and now guiding people. Let's welcome Vivek Atray ji on Speaking Tree. Sir, a very warm welcome on the show.
Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure to sit with you today, and the energy in the room, everyone. You would feel that throughout the podcast.
Hopefully.
Yes. And sir, I've chosen a very important topic for all my viewers today, and especially youth. We'll talk about spirituality, we'll talk about success, we'll understand what true success actually means from a person who has achieved a lot of professional success, but you have a spiritual element to you as well. So in your vision, what does success actually mean to you?
So it's a great question to start. My book is called Finding Success Within. So I think success in a nutshell is winning the inner battle. So the inner conflict keeps taking place. When we are human, we are not perfect.
Right.
So there is some conflict within. And that inner battle is about vanquishing our demons, which means making our bad tendencies lose and good tendencies win. And that Kurukshetra, which we talk about within, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, it's within us. So I studied in NIT Kurukshetra, but that is on the lighter side. I didn't learn so much about Kurukshetra there than I learned later. Success is about winning the inner battle. And that inner battle keeps on taking place. Temptation will come, anger will come, restlessness, fear, worry. So reducing them and increasing your empathy, love, care, positivity, that is the battle we have to win, and that is success. It might sound very dreamy and intangible, and people might say money is success, power is success, fame is success, but those are the lower forms of success.
Definitely, sir.
The higher form is winning the inner battle.
And it's so unfortunate that we associate success only with material growth.
Right?
How do we not define success in that way?
So it's very difficult because the narrative of the world is that you are successful only if you are rich and powerful and famous. So I speak on these topics, so I'll take them one by one quickly. Being rich means that you have so much money that you don't need part of that money. It means not your need, but your greed is being satisfied. So if beyond a point that money is lying in the bank or you're investing it here and there and you don't really need it, what is the point of that money? There is an old saying, in Hindi it is "Ghode bech ke sona."
Yeah.
In English we can say you sell your horses before you sleep. If your horses are tied outside, you can't sleep because you're worried about the horses. But when you've sold your horses, you don't have any horses. Then you're sleeping peacefully. A poorer man, a less privileged man, an underprivileged man has nothing to worry about as such, that he's got some possessions which he has to safeguard. So money beyond a point is not needed. And the richest men in the world, if you look at the 5 or 6 richest men, I don't want to name them because it's personal matter. Unfortunately, out of the top 6, 5 got separated from their spouses. Where is that peace within and happiness within coming from? It's not coming from money, that's for sure. And you look at the most powerful man in the world today, and we don't want to name him on this podcast, he doesn't look happy at all, he doesn't smile. He's in the most powerful position of the world. He never smiles.
Got it.
The previous one used to smile, or he was, let's say the previous one before that used to smile. So these things are very important for true success. Money and power has not given them that happiness. What about fame? Fame is here today and gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Except Cristiano Ronaldo, who's there on the top of the Instagram ladder for 10 years. And even he won't be there forever. There is no permanence in fame also. So there can be a man who is not rich, not powerful, not famous, but who is much happier and more successful than someone who is the richest, most powerful and most famous man in the world. That is the nutshell of it.
And I do believe, sir, that inner happiness and inner success matters a lot, and it reflects.
It reflects.
In you. And we'll talk about inner success as well.
Yeah.
But, sir, whatever I have understood of spirituality as of now, whatever I have understood of soul journey, we all come with a blueprint. Our souls pre-decide who will be our parents, who will be your partner, what experiences you will go through. But once you're here, you're a clean slate.
Right.
You forget everything. You forget your sole purpose. How do I realize, and especially this is my question for the young viewers of this podcast, how do I connect with the essence of my soul? That what am I here to do?
So I'm also a learner in this, but I'll give you whatever I know. So I follow Paramahansa Yogananda, author of the autobiography of a yogi, the YSS lessons, Yogoda Satsang Society. And I have seen episodes where the monks of YSS and SRF have appeared on your podcast. Now, a soul has been born in a body on this planet. And it is said that advanced souls, they choose their families. A soul is being born. Where will he or she be born? He or she to baad mein, first it's a soul. I think advanced souls, I'm told, choose their parents. They will come to parents who are able to nurture souls of that level. If a high-level soul who has evolved in previous souls are all pure, but a high-level person comes into a low-level family, then he will get vibrations which are counterproductive and negative.
Absolutely.
So they choose their families. And then on the lighter side, there is that if we go from this planet with some cravings. So one of the monks in the talks of SRF says that we are in the astral world and we still have craving for pizza.
In the astral.
Let's say.
Okay.
Let's say we had it here.
Okay.
But that craving is still present. So in the astral world, somebody thinks pizza, he's born again immediately. Because he has to fulfill that material desire where on the planet here, He can't fulfill pizza desires in the astral world.
Yes.
So the soul, which is not completely one with God, will be born again. This is Hindu philosophy as well. So when he or she is born again, that craving for pizza will remain until it is either so much satisfied that he kind of eats 1 million pizzas in his life, or he overcomes that desire where on this planet, that now I have no more craving for mangoes, pizzas, chocolates, then I will evolve further. So the soul, to answer your question as far as I know, of a young person is here to learn some lessons. And if we are human, then there is something to improve, something to perfect, something to overcome. And the past lives have given us an accumulation of karma, of our deeds. And therefore, somebody may have to overcome restlessness. Other people may have to overcome greed. Other people may have to overcome temptations. And somebody may have to overcome all of them. So unless I work on them as a human being, I will keep coming back for that. So the soul, poor thing, has to come back with that human being and live through it again and again and again.
Yes. And as they say, the universe or Paramatma, he's so kind that he'll say, okay, you have this single desire left, let me give you another birth.
Let me give you another birth.
Tathastu.
But one thing, Rangoli, there is a saying that if you attune yourself with God, he sometimes wipes out your karma. So that destiny which you mentioned, in the autobiography of a yogi, there's a chapter, Outwitting the Stars.
Yes.
So he says, your destiny is there. But you can improve your destiny by connecting deeply with the Lord, by working on your soul, by meditating and going through spirituality. And he then, supposing you have 100 karmas to overcome, supposing you are able to overcome 20 of them with your efforts, 80 are still to go, then he wipes out those 80. So there is also a saying that you walk towards God, he runs towards you. Who covers more ground? Yes. You have covered 2 steps, he has covered 20 steps towards you because you showed that inclination. So God will wipe out your karma if you show that intention, inclination, little bit of effort.
How beautiful. And sir, whatever I have understood of astrology as well, in the case of sadhak or meditators, astrology does not work on them.
No, it doesn't work because they are beyond
connected to the higher realms.
Aapki sifarish hai, hotline hai. You have a hotline to God. Then you pick up that hotline and say, God, this guy is troubling me. Oh, I'll take care of him.
Yes.
But you have to develop that hotline.
Absolutely. And he knows your intention, right?
He just sees your intention, you're right. If we keep on, focusing on the world and its material desires, then God says, I'll wait. And one of our monks in YSS says, this is a school. And from here you will graduate only when you pass. If you fail, you'll come back again and again to the same class. And then you won't pass. So you have to pass one day and then go.
What does it mean to pass in God's eyes?
So I think what we all have been learning from the scriptures, from philosophy, is that self-realization is the goal. And that realization that we are one with God. And Yogananda says, the only thing we have to do is to improve our knowing. We are one with God, but we have forgotten it. Our soul doesn't remember it because we have been layered up. There are so many layers. And therefore, I'm thinking I'm important, I'm successful, I have to wear a certain type of dress, I have to behave in a particular way, and therefore I'm focusing on outward energies. And what I have to do is to internalize that energy, bring it in, and then focus on trying to connect with my inner self, which is a deeply meditative practice. I can read all the books in the world, but it won't work. So until I experience God through meditation, which is the highest form of spirituality, then I don't need to tell you anything. Then you don't need to ask me anything, or the other way around. Then you will know God, I will know God, he will know God, the viewers will know God. But the solution is not to be provided in a parchi or a kunji or some kind of exam, solution. It's to be felt and experienced.
And it is a journey of many lifetimes.
It is. It has to be. But some people, I think, if you look at them, the youngsters, they're born, we were talking about it. I mean, as soon as they start realizing why they're here, or they are advanced souls, and they don't show the same tendencies that other children do. My wife runs a school for toddlers.
Okay.
Some of the children are pulling each other's hair, biting and slapping each other. And when they call the parents, then the parents are at times not very comfortable with each other, so they are fighting at home, so the children are also fighting. It could be that those children were born into those families as a result of their past, or it is something they have to work out. So there is a person who goes to the heavens. There's a story. And God asks him, how was your life on the earth? He says, God, it was great, but my neighbor was very bad. So then God says, okay, forget the neighbor, now tell me more about your life. He says, God, this. Yeah, but my neighbor was terrible. Then God tells him. He says, you are the hero of your own life. Talk about your experiences. If your neighbor was bad, how did you react? When your neighbor comes, we will ask him, why did you trouble that person? But you are answerable for your own life, not for anyone else's. Excuses, nahi. So what I'm trying to say is, we have to work on our own inner selves and try and improve, and hope that he wipes out the rest of our destiny.
Karma.
Karma.
Definitely so. And now going back to the success part.
Yeah.
I do believe, and I'm sure so many of viewers would also feel the same, that for some people, life is a bit more clearer, if I may say so.
Yeah.
That from the beginning itself, you have a path laid out for you.
Right.
You walk on that path and you do feel very aligned with your soul purpose that yes, this is what I'm meant to do. Which are these souls who attract such opportunities, such success at a very early age in life?
I think you have a good point. There is something that we have brought with ourselves through our past good deeds that gives us that fortune in this life. I mean, a person born in a comfortable family and a person born in a family which is making ends meet becomes difficult. Or a person born with disabilities, which are major disabilities. Nowadays we say differently abled.
Yeah.
These differently abled people have not committed any sin in this life. But they are differently abled. Why are they differently abled? What is the reason that X is differently abled and Y is a fully fit guy who's winning the 100 meters in the Olympics? So there is some reason why. And that is probably the only explanation is that there is a past life, there are past lives, and there was something we did to earn this particular life. But there are 3 ways to progress in this life. That's what spirituality says. The first is sadhana, which is meditation, spiritual practice, good nature, etc. The second is service, empathy to others, serving society, serving. And the third is suffering. You're suffering and overcoming your karma, which you were meant to do, that you did something wrong, now you have to repay that you have to reap the benefits or the harm. Now, what is the best way? The best way is sadhana, because you are progressing much more. Suffering is the most difficult way. So these 3 ways, which should we choose? We should choose spiritual practices. The second would be to serve others, and maybe you can do both. Why suffer if you can progress through sadhana? If you don't progress through sadhana, if you forget God, then He will find ways to remind you that you need to think of me.
Yes, I exist.
हाँ, exist. वो कहते हैं कि सुख में करे ना कोई, दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई. So when we are having our sunny days, then we should think of God, because we think of Him only when we are in trouble. And there's another saying, a marble block is carved into a statue by the sculptor. He's chipping away the other blocks which are not required, and within that marble block is a beautiful statue, which the sculptor breaks away the other pieces, and that he doesn't bring in any new piece into the marble, he only sculpts away the rest. So God is trying to sculpt away the other parts of our personality which are not required, and we feel pained. Because
Why
that pathar is, that's to why me. So that we feel, oh no, this is part of me. Why is he sculpting it away? So there is a prayer we have in YSS. God, please sculpt my life according to thy plan, according to thy design. That is the surrender we have to have. I don't have to tell him, please give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 62 items. You tell him, whatever you want for me, Give me that. Then life becomes easier.
And sir, I do believe that it takes a lot of spiritual effort to, even surrender, because we don't truly even understand surrender.
It's very difficult.
To give complete control to God of your life.
So this part I want to talk about. So I being whatever reason officer, this, that, my dad was a police officer, little spoilt in life, in control of everything, everything should be like this, everything should be perfect. Sometimes I realize I have no control over this situation. And it is better to surrender. And increasingly I realize that surrender is the best option. What happened with me was my wife and I went on vacation where we had gone, what is it called? Parasailing. Now in that parasailing moment, she is the daredevil sort. She's there on top of the ocean and, parasailing and wow, this, that. And I was feeling scared. I went only because of her. We are at that high height. I had no option but to mentally surrender because there is no control I had over that situation. So the moment I surrendered that God, you take care of us, I felt much calmer and peaceful. So in a situation of life where you are a control freak or you are in command and you are very powerful, किसी को phone किया, हाँ जी हो जाएगा sir. So that kind of thing is momentary, it is temporary. But the moment you start connecting and thanking the Lord for what you have, then you're surrendering your pluses and minuses to Him. Supposing I came on your podcast, I came on some other major podcast, and I say, no, ये तो मैंने किया है. If I say, God, it's all because of you that this is happening. Whatever popularity, fame, or appreciation I have, it's all your doing. So I'm surrendering that also to Him. That is what the Gita also says. You surrender to me all your actions and all your fruits and all that you get, and even your difficulties. Then only we progress.
Definitely.
But very
sir.
difficult, you're right.
Yes.
Difficult.
And I also believe that it is again, your past life karma, the sadhana that you've done.
But effort can be made here.
Yes.
So he says, outwit your destiny by improving your karma now. There are times when you want to have that second gulab jamun. Even the first one you shouldn't have had. One you've had. Now second one. Now there, if you resist that temptation, you have overcome some karma. You have overcome some temptation. And you're better off. You feel lighter, physically as well as mentally. Later, that moment will pass. That temptation will be there only for a second or 2 seconds or 10 seconds. If you don't have the gulab jamun at that time, your body will tell you later that you didn't need it actually. So just overcome that.
Since you talked about outwitting the destiny, and we are talking about
Great
destiny.
topic.
Yes. From the autobiography of Yogi, this is one chapter.
Yeah.
How much do you think is the role of free will in our lives? If God has created a blueprint for us, then He knows that the soul is going to do this particular task. Then don't you feel it would be a boring script? Because He knows what we are going to do.
So that's why He's entertaining Himself. So our scriptures tell us that God has created this universe for His own entertainment. Srishti ki rachna, for His entertainment. He knows that all these people have free will. And they will not think of God until they get into trouble. That's what we're talking about. But if a soul or a person starts taking conscious steps through his free will, that I will meditate a little more, I will pray a little more, I will take time out for God. All my friends are going to the disco or they're going to the movie. I will sit and meditate a little more. Okay, I don't need to be dull. Nobody is saying that spiritual life should be a dull life. You watch the movies, you play cricket, you entertain yourself, but you also find time for God. Now that is the most difficult part. And if we do it, then our destiny will improve. Our destiny and free will are linked. So the exercise of free will has to be balanced. I can lead my life, I can be a householder. The monks and the nuns are monastics. They are not householders. Their sole purpose is to focus on the Lord, on God, and meditate and care. But they work in the ashram. All orders, all organizations where monks and nuns are there, they're not only sitting and meditating, they're doing some administrative work. Ramakrishna Mission, Yogoda Satsang, all the missions you can look at. They will be doing work. Householders will be looking after their children, their families, their bills, their jobs, their salaries, their car, petrol, this, that. And yet they have to meditate. So a householder and a monk, in a way, are similar. Human beings have to find time for God in whatever else they're doing. And there's a third type of person
Which is?
who is, I use a share at many talks, which I'll use here. I use it many a time. And I'll translate it into English. It is, Fitur hota hai har daur mein juda juda. Fitur means passion.
Yeah.
Daur means era. Juda juda means different. फितूर होता है हर दौर में जुदा जुदा, पहले खिलौने, फिर इश्क, फिर पैसा, फिर खुदा खुदा. So this is the linear equation of life. People start with toys. Children want toys.
Yes.
Then they become romantic, crushes, etc. start. Then job, career, and then paisa. And then God is waiting. So bring God into your life now. And you will find, like we were talking, exam ke time children start praying. We pray to Him when you have no exams. Then He will start responding. And my wife's school, Toddler's World, they make 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds meditate. And those children, they don't meditate, they sit, but they open their eyes, they play. But they know that this is meditation time for 5 minutes.
Wow.
So at an early age, if you start a little bit of meditation in that khilono wali jab age hai, instead of, wasting 60 years, 70 years and then thinking of God, then life becomes easier.
Absolutely.
Very difficult, but it has to be done.
And sir, since we are talking about how important a role does spirituality play in your success, one very important question I want to ask, and I think we need to address this. People think that spirituality would make you boring, it would make you soft, it would make you unambitious also.
So, it's absolutely a good question. I like this question because firstly, I've never covered this in a podcast. This topic is beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Paramahansa Yogananda, Ramakrishna Paramhans, Swami Vivekananda, all the great saints of India were humorous people, cheerful people. You look at the monks and nuns of YSS, SRF, Ramakrishna Mission, any other mission, you look at them. Even priests in the church who deliver the sermon, Sunday sermon hota hai, they will be cracking jokes and they will be laughing at themselves. There was a monk who gave this story. He says, all your worst fears will go away today. Our choir is not singing today, something like that. Making fun of their own choir, of the group of singers. So fun and cheerfulness and laughter can be found in the spiritual path.
Yes.
There is a saying, there's a story that a monk was sitting under a tree and meditating. And somebody goes to him and says that, Swamiji, you have a diamond, I believe, please give me that diamond. He takes out diamond and gives it. Yeah, you can take it. This man is like flabbergasted, surprised. Why is he giving me this diamond? He goes, he takes it and comes back after 1 week. He says, Swamiji, please take back this diamond. He says, why? He says, Swamiji, I can't sleep. Why did you give me this diamond without hesitation? So Swamiji starts laughing. He says, maybe I have something more valuable than this diamond. So this man is thinking, what is this? Please give me that, Swamiji. He says, I can't give you that. You have to develop it yourself. That inner calmness, peace, Swami doesn't need the diamond. But the point here is that if I have that inner happiness, cheerfulness, then why do I need material things? So, I can be cheerful in the most spiritual of lives. I can be joking, I can be laughing. In fact, smiling is an ornament for all human beings. Some people use it more, some people use it less. And some people are grumpy. Don't want to rhyme grumpy with whoever. But the thing is that some people are very grumpy. So why are we like that? We need to, and newsreaders, I'm sorry to say, like this, they have to be smiling at times. There should be a lighter element in every news bulletin.
Absolutely.
I used to tell my friends who were editors of newspapers, I was director PR, I would say, at least have one light story on the front page. Something to make a good story of the day, feel good. So cheerfulness has to be part of your life. Sadness is an offense. In fact, they say the goal of life is happiness. Where will you find it? In inner peace. And you see a spiritual person, that smile of joy is always there.
Definitely, sir. And I do feel, as they say, our Shastras also mention this, that joy is the true essence of our soul.
Absolutely.
And to be joyful is one of the bigger reasons why you're here.
Absolutely.
So since we are talking about how important the role of spirituality is now, especially the times we are living in, I highly believe that there is a spiritual expansion happening in the world. After COVID, even youth is connecting to their own being. People are going into meditation. People are going into other spiritual practices, into bhakti. It's very important for all of us, and especially for my young audience, to realize who they are, to connect deeper with their own essence. And we see so much trauma that we carry from our childhood, or the experiences, how the world shapes us. So especially for those people who are going through a tough time, how and what would you advise them to make spirituality a part of their lives so that it gets a little easier?
This is the most important question of this podcast. So, in a nutshell, there's a book called The Holy Science by Sri Yukteswar. Everybody says that, this is Kali Yuga. Things are so bad. And social media, which never used to be there, let's say 20 years ago, tells us all the bad things. Bomb blast, this happened. Then they show some ragging incident, somebody slapping somebody. All these reels are viral. Now, the appearance of the world and the society and the narrative appears to be going down the drain. Whereas, the Holy Science says that we are actually evolving and improving. And Kali Yuga ended in the 1700 something, that is the 18th century. Dwapar Yuga started. So the yugas, Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Sat Yuga.
Yes.
And then go down to Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga again. And then again the upward cycle. So we are in the upward cycle of the Dwapar Yuga, which started in 1700 and something, when the printing press came into being, and when later electricity came in the 20th century, then the internet came, then education increased, equality between men and women. In America, women were not allowed to vote till after India. 1950 or something, in America allowed women to vote for the first time. And India started right from the first day. That women will have that kind of society used to exist. So it is definitely an upward curve which we cannot see, because we see all the gundaism and the gangsters and the leaders who are pathetic, many of them. So we see a world which seems to be negative. And now the youth you're talking about in this question is living in that narrative that what is my future?
Right.
How will I succeed? Why is this bomb blast taking place in so-and-so country? I am feeling the pinch here.
Exactly.
It's taking place somewhere else. Of course, it also happened in our country a year ago, conflict and all. But I am allowing my outer world to affect my inner world.
Yes.
Which is natural. But gradually, things will... If you look at the youth now, the empathy for, let us say, animals today is much more amongst the urban youth, at least, rural youth also.
It is.
I see youngsters today, even on the IPL field, a dog came. Earlier time, the cricketers would run away from it or move away. Today, I saw a cricketer grabbing the dog in a lap, an unknown dog, big dog, and taking him out very nicely in his lap. Cricketer. So you see, the empathy for other life forms, for other human beings is increasing. So even if it doesn't look like, the yugas are improving. Spiritually, the world is advancing. We are not killing each other today. I mean, medieval times or before that, it was not a safe place to live. This planet was not a safe place to live. People would be robbed, people would be killed. Now, at least we have that security, some government, some democracy. Some countries are worse than others. But there is some improvement which is going to take place in the next few decades, in the next few centuries. It will be more Dwapar Yuga, better, higher Yuga. So the youth has to have faith in two things. Faith in their own ability and faith in God. If they have faith in their own ability and faith in God, despite all the turbulence outside, they can find peace, and some are doing it. Who is more successful today? That individual who has conquered his fears and the distractions and the restlessness. The topper of any exam or of the sports field or of the music field or of the podcast field, that topper is somebody who has overcome his or her worries and that negative atmosphere, and despite all the bombings and all the turbulences, is winning that battle somehow. So people are wanting to be in that position, could not be because they could not overcome it. So in a nutshell, I've tried to say that the yugas are improving, and the successful person is that person who does not allow the outer turbulences to trouble him or her, wins the inner battle, then wins the outer battle also.
And what about those who are not able to win those inner battles, who just give up?
I think it's a great question. It's very important. So I speak on overthinking, and winning that inner battle is so important. So if I am overthinking about my fears, worries, I need to do 5 concrete things I'll give you, which I give in my talks. Number 1, you have to be physically fit. The more you play, the more you run, the more you exercise, the more you sleep properly, you will be physically fitter and you will be able to handle the mental pressure better. Anybody who plays sport, happy hormones are released, will not be lying awake at night worried and depressed, because he or she has run for an hour. Will anybody anyway be feeling like sleeping on time?
Yeah.
Second is meditation in no particular order. If you start meditating even for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you can control just your thoughts a little bit, watch your breath a little bit, think of God a little bit. You can just, do some tension relaxation exercise. You can start meditating 5 minutes, 7 minutes, follow some YouTube guided meditation, read the YSS lessons which I follow. Do something, little by little, you will find you are more peaceful than other people. Your overthinking reduces. Number 3 is creativity. Music, poetry, fine art, sports, gardening, cooking, something, hairstyling. I go to many colleges. I'll always point out a boy whose hairstyle is like idli or like spikes or like, there's some nest on his head. So I'll say he's the most creative guy in the hall according to me. So I get them to clap for him. Everybody, till then he used to be someone, ye kya wild sa hairstyle. So creativity will make you feel lighter and less depressed and less worried. Number 4 is conversations.
Yeah.
If a youngster is talking to his friend or his mother or father or someone, he's not feeling that low, overcoming that anxiety which we talked about. So I think conversations, हम तो podcast में बात कर रहे हैं, but that conversation with your friend, with your mother, with your father, with your sister, with your colleague, with your best friend has to be done. And number 5, I think we are not reading enough. We are watching reels. I wrote a piece. In writing, we say articles are pieces. So the piece was, India is reeling under reels. We are reeling under the burden of reels. Everybody is glued. The brain is getting tired. The eyes are getting tired. The mind is racing. Whereas a book is a calming influence. I'm an author of 5 books, 6th one coming. I feel that if you read for 5-10 minutes, your brain really calms down and your worries reduce. Because reading gives you the power. You see, I have a conference and there are 10 youngsters standing. One of them is talking in a different way. I realize this person is a reader, a more successful individual. The one who reads has connected with the authors, has got some thoughts. So I think it's a calming influence. And lastly, number 6 I'll add, is an empathetic attitude. You are in trouble. You are feeling low. Still you are helpful to others at that time when you're feeling low. Then you're raising the level of your consciousness. And ultimately it's about raising the level of your consciousness. You're empathetic to others and you don't give a damn about your troubles. You don't care about your troubles. वो delete कर देना. You don't care about your troubles. Then you are rising above them. So these are a few
Very
ways.
important, especially the reader part that you talked about, sir. I think one can spot a reader.
Yeah, one can spot a reader. And I think people should read much more than they do. But luckily now these reading clubs have started.
Yes.
People are sitting silently and reading for 45 minutes. Not enough, but something is happening.
And I do feel it's meditative in its own way.
I read before I meditate. I exercise because they tell us, YSS tells you to exercise. And then you can read a little, chant a little, and then start meditating.
So let's talk about our inner feelings as well. And what I mean by inner feelings, every person has an energy and aura around them.
Right.
And no matter what you do externally, what you're feeling inside.
Yeah.
You see a person and you just sit with them and you feel, wow, such positive energy.
Or the other way around.
Yes, or the other way around. How to work on that? Because a lot of times people would work externally on them, but the inner emotions, the jealousy, the guilt, these low vibration emotions that deplete your aura. How to work on that?
So I'll again come to the autobiography of a yogi. Yogananda talks about thoughtrons. Electrons, protons, neutrons, thoughtrons.
Thoughtrons.
Particles of thought. Now, our thoughts are our energy. If I have negative thoughts, jealous thoughts, like you said, hateful thoughts, worried thoughts, then my vibrations are definitely going to be negative. Because I'm jealous of my neighbor, whom I talked about earlier. Not my neighbor, anybody's neighbor.
Example.
So I'm jealous of someone, then I will keep on thinking. There are people in government, I've come from the government earlier, they'll keep writing applications against someone. He should not have got a promotion, he should not have got that increment, he's a destructive person. And if I keep writing that, then my energy is going negative, and then that vibration you talked about is going to be negative. Whereas if I'm a helpful person, I do one good deed a day, two good deeds a day. You helped an older person. An older person, what does he need? Elderly 80-year-old. He or she just needs someone to sit for 10-20 minutes a day and listen to their old stories and give them some respect. Nobody spends time with them.
Yes.
You go and spend time with them, you will feel good about yourself, right? Nani, Dadi, others, even somebody you don't know, in a bus, in a train, in a plane.
Yeah.
So if I do these things, my vibrations will be palpably different. They'll be definitely different. And that is what we carry. So our thoughts make up our aura and our energy. So the energy depends on your thoughts. And your thoughts are in your control to an extent. Temptations and that apsaras and all which I was talking about may not be in your control. But your conscious thoughts are in your control.
And definitely, sir, I think we focus a lot on what we don't have in life.
Yeah.
We think of complaining, God, why me? And we are not grateful for what we have. So what, according to you, is the part of gratitude in achieving that success that we're talking about from the very beginning?
This is a beautiful point. So there's a story of Arthur Ashe, which is very famous. He was a tennis, I'm a speaker, so I bring out these stories. He was a tennis player who won Wimbledon. When he won Wimbledon, he was on top of the world. And a few years later, or a decade later, unfortunately, he was dying. He got mail from all over the world. This was a time when they used to write handwritten, 70s, 80s, handwritten letters that, why you, Arthur? Why is this happening to you? Why not to somebody else? Like in India, we say, Mare tumhare dushman. Other people should be harmed, not you. Now he writes. He says, when I won Wimbledon, I did not ask God, why is this happening to me? Why me? Why did all these 128 others who played the Wimbledon tournament, why didn't any of them win? I thought it was my right. I played the best, I won. Now, even when I'm dying, what right do I have to ask God, why me? That level of consciousness Arthur Ashe had. Of course, I at least can't be that Superman. I will have that thought, why is this happening to me? But we can reduce our why me-ness, if we call it. Why should I be full of ungratefulness for what I don't have or what went wrong with me? When did I thank the Lord for what I have, like you said? And when the red light turns green and you are in a hurry, do you thank the Lord for that? I mean, we should connect so closely with the Lord. I'm looking for something and I found it. Who do you thank? You can just say a silent thank you to God for that, or the Guru or whoever you follow. That thank you so much for this. Little things you start correcting, then this is known as practicing the presence of God in your life. Then that why me will be changed to an attitude of gratitude. That's what we're talking about. So if we do that, then nothing will go wrong in your life. You'll get more and more and more. Attitude of gratitude. Absolutely.
Lovely. Yeah. So earlier we were talking about divine, the role of the divine in our lives. I highly believe when you attach a divine purpose to your work, God takes care of your growth.
Yeah.
How do we make sure that our karma becomes our dharma? This would be my question from here.
I think, firstly, we have to love our work. I need to make sure that I am in a stream or a career which I am fond of, which I am attracted to, which I love. And if I'm not, then I need to make some corrections. I don't love numbers or accountancy and I become a chartered accountant. I wanted to be a musician. All my life I'm going to crave for that other career. And only when I become 50 or something, when I have enough in the bank, then I will quit and start playing music. But that doesn't work. Of course, music, art and poetry and writing may not give you a career.
Yeah.
But there are careers which are closer to them, which may give you a career. Content writing, music industry, Try and get into a career which you love. Then, when your karam becomes your dharma, you're saying, I love my work, I do it with earnestness, my duty is to do my duty well. Then God also helps you. God knows that this person is making an effort. As I said, you walk towards the Lord, He starts running towards you. And then He's giving you that benefit of His blessings. They say that when the parents go away, their blessings remain with them, with you.
Yes.
So those blessings are still there. So God is also there. You work with diligence and with your heart, and I think He will help you.
Before I end this podcast, one very important question and one very significant question that would add a lot of value to every person's life who's watching this podcast and mine as well. In your experience of motivational speaking, of observing people, what is the perfect recipe for a meaningful life?
I think it's a very difficult question. I don't know the recipe exactly, but I think I can give you 2 or 3 points. I think firstly, balance is important. Work-life balance, family time, work time and family time both have to be balanced. Only then your life is meaningful. If you're working all the time and neglecting your personal life and your family, then you're not living a fulfilling life. Meaningful lives mean balance. Your children, if you have children, they grow up very fast. Spend time with them while they're growing. Anyone. Secondly, I think that calmness will give you a fulfilling life. Whatever you have, attitude of gratitude, calmness, I didn't get this, I remain calm, it's okay. Equanimity is a great quality which spiritually comes, titiksha. So that means even-mindedness, sambhav. So I have that calmness, come what may. I got the ice cream I wanted, I didn't get that ice cream, I got another one. Or I didn't get any ice cream today, I'll get it day after tomorrow. I don't have to crave for something beyond a point. It's an example only. Thirdly, working for others. A meaningful life is not a self-centered life. And ultimately the spiritual quest is to vanquish the ego and increase the consciousness, elevate the consciousness towards the soul. How will you vanquish the ego? By helping others, by noticing others. And God says, or even the gurus say, or scriptures say, when you consider yourself one with the universe, with all humanity, then you are God-like. Otherwise, we have our preferences. Yes. I like this guy, I don't like this guy. This is my sister, that is somebody else's sister. So why should we come? So ultimately, if we raise our consciousness to that level, then we are leading a meaningful life. All these things might sound impractical, but many of them are practical. And we apply them little by little in our lives. All the youngsters can do that.
Otherwise, we are humans.
Otherwise, we are human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, just to end this wonderful and divine discussion, I would say, any last message that you have for all my viewers and especially young people who are watching you today?
Yeah, so ultimately, don't take life over seriously, I would say to the youth. Don't take it over seriously. I mean, enjoy your journey a little bit. Lighten up a little bit. The other person is more successful than you, apparently. You know, he's got a Lamborghini, you've got a small cycle.
The comparison.
It seems comparison is... So don't compare yourself. Your journey is your own journey. You are the hero of your own journey. So be the hero of your own journey and don't compare with others. Try and find joy and give joy to others and laugh a little bit. I think this is what I want. Raise your consciousness.
Definitely.
More difficult.
Be the main character of your own life.
Exactly.
And surrender.
Surrender.
If I conclude this
Very
podcast.
true. Very true.
Wonderful, sir.
Thank you.
do feel that my energy is so much uplifted after this discussion.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that all the viewers would feel the same. So much meaningful things that we talked about today. I'm very sure that they would add a lot of value to anybody who's watching this podcast. They definitely did add a lot of value to my own understanding of life.
You asked very good questions. I think you brought out the best from me. Thank you very much.
And you brought out the best from me as well.
Thank you
I could ask the right questions because of your beautiful answers. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So you let me know, how did you like today's discussion? If you are in the middle of your life and navigating paths like what is right for you and where you're meant to be, I'm sure this podcast would have helped you a lot. Do share this podcast with as many people as you can, and especially with youth. Also, do let me know from which part of the world you're watching this discussion and what are your questions, what are your queries that you would like Vivek Ji to answer them to you. We will get back to you. I'll keep bringing you such insightful discussions on Speaking Tree. This is your host Rangoli Sharma. I'll see you in another podcast. Namaste.